Reincarnation of the strongest sword god. Chapter 1. Starting over. In the dead of night at Green Bamboo upper class area Jinhae City, Shi Feng held a folder of documents as he sat silently on the leather sofa, gazing at the pool outside through the French window. Shi Feng was filled with both frustration and unwillingness. He was captain of Shadow, one of Jinhae City's top 4 gaming workshops. He had commanded a guild of tens of thousands of people. Even more, he was Jinhae City's famous expert. He was the sword magician. However, now the only thing he could do was drink away his sorrows inside his home. 10 years he had spent in gaming. 10 years he had fought in blood-soaked battles. He experienced countless trials and suffering. Under his leadership, Shadow had successfully established 10 city-states in. They were finally capable of rivaling the first-rate guilds. However, before he could enjoy any of that endless glory, a single document had turned everything into passing smoke. Once it was gone, it was never coming back. Shi Feng never thought his 10 years of effort would just go to waste. He sacrificed so much just for the game, and yet all he did was pave the way for others to the very end. All of this culminated because he had opposed the decision for Shadow to join the Super Guild, World Dominators. It wasn't even the next day before Lan Hua Financial Group gave him their reply. He had to delete his level 200 Sword King, the account he had spent 10 years of blood and sweat on, and to collect his settlement check from the financial department. All he received was 5,000 credits and a single mansion. When compared to the established 10 city-states inside the money-generating virtual kingdom, it couldn't even be considered a drop in the ocean. Shi Feng thought about how much he had contributed to the Shadow. He thought about how his efforts had turned Lan Hua groups into a large financial group. Then he thought about how they still threw him away, as if he was no different from garbage. Shi Feng swore he would take revenge for their actions. I won't just let this go. At worst, I'll just start over. Shi Feng's eyes flashed with confidence and resolution. His hands tore the termination contract into little pieces. Grabbing the bottle of wine from tabletop, he gulped down several mouthfuls. Even if he no longer had his Sword King account, even if he no longer had his team support, the skills and knowledge he obtained from the game would not betray him. As long as his skills remained, he could still rise once more within God's domain. He could rebuild a virtual kingdom of his own. Early morning, the sun had just risen. D. The phone alarm continuously rang. Shi Feng woke up resentfully. He helplessly reached for his phone by the bedside. The effects from yesterday's drinking still loomed over him. Hey, what's up? Brother Feng, it's me, Blakey. You're still asking what's up. Didn't we agree to become professional gamers? Shadow Workshop is recruiting at our school today. Haven't you always wanted to become Shadow's core member? Shi Feng was slightly confused. Lan Hua Financial Group just fired him, so why would he attend Shadow's examination? Brother Feng, can you hear me? They're testing at 10 o'clock. If you don't hurry up, you're not gonna make it. Blackie, stop joking around. I just got fired from Shadow. Fired? Brother Fang, how much did you drink yesterday? Even now, you're still not awake. How could you be fired if Shadow hasn't even recruited anybody until now? Alright, just come quickly. Blackie had cut the call before Shi Fang could respond. When Shi Fang looked at his phone in a daze, he discovered that this old and broken iPhone 6 was not his phone. His phone was the latest iPhone 12. Immediately, Shi Fang inspected his surroundings. When met his eyes was a messy room. What met his eyes was a messy room, no larger than 15 square meters. All around there were books on gaming strategies. At a corner of the room above the study table, there was an extremely outdated laptop. Within the wardrobe by the wall, there were clothes messily piled together. Inside the wardrobe, there was a mirror that currently showed a familiar face. Shi Fang jumped in shock when he saw this extremely familiar face. How have I become young again? Shi Fang immediately walked towards the mirror. Only after looking at the mirror at the reflection shown on it over and over did Shi Fang confirm that he had indeed become young again. He slept in his luxurious and spacious bedroom yesterday. But now he was in this broken down place after waking up. Not only that, he also had become young again. Shi Fang could still recall some memories regarding this place. He had lived here 10 years ago. For over 6 months, Shi Fang rented this place in reluctance. Also that he could play God's domain while also attending university. Only after he had earned some money in God's domain had he rented a large condominium. Shi Feng thought back to those odious years. His family circumstances at that time weren't in good shape. For Shi Feng to attend university, his parents had racked up some debts. Even so, Shi Feng's parents still made sure to send him sufficient living expenses every month, taking on the suffering themselves in return. Shi Feng wholeheartedly wanted to change his family's circumstances. However, finding a well-paying job while the streets were filled with university graduates was tremendously hard. So he thought of the highly profitable virtual reality games, setting professional gamer as his goal. He even bought a virtual gaming helmet, training arduously within the game to improve his skills. During that time, bread and instant noodles became his daily meals. To save money, he had also avoided participating in social gatherings held by his classmates, causing him to become an invisible existence in his class. The boys would look at him with disdain, while the girls would distance themselves from him. Every time Shi Feng went shopping for cup noodles, his wallet would have no more than 10 credits. He did not even dare buy a ham sausage that only cost a single credit. In pity, the female salesperson there had offered him the ham sausage at a discounted price. However, the feeling of his empty wallet made Shi Feng refuse with great reluctance.